What's up? Welcome to Tales Tomorrow. I'm Morrow, your storyteller for today. With me I have some more RPG horror stories. Curses. How often do you use curses in your campaign? I try to use it very sparingly. I only have like one, almost two players that are cursed right now. I think Morrow might be cursed. I'm not fully sure. It's really hard to tell. I haven't pried into what my DM wants to do, but if you're warlock and you're working with a patron of some kind, you know some kind of shenanigans is about to go down. But I'm curious, how often do people use curses out there? And while you answer that in the comment section below, I'm gonna get to the first RPG horror story for today. GM attempts at railroading. So we're playing 1E, Iron Fang Invasion. Backstory context. We're in the middle of a war. We're in the main setting forest against an invading army, which is cleared our last boss in a demon-tainted forest. Actually, before we get to the proper story, let's read all about what it is Iron Fang Invasion. Iron Fang Invasion is a 20th campaign to grace the pages of Pathfinder Adventure Path series and ran from March 2017 through July 2017. It is set in Nermathus and Multhune. When the PCs witness their hometown of Fane are destroyed in the first steps of an all-out war of conquest, they begin a quest that leads from desperate survival of heroes of legend as they push back against the monstrous Iron Fang Legion. The ruthless army, helmed by Hobgoblin General Azersi and empowered by an ancient artifact known as the Onyx Key, intends to claim both Nermathus and Multhune while the isolated nations bicker with one another. The hero's quest will take them deep into the Fey-haunted Fangwood Forest to the craggy bluffs of western Nermathus and delve deep into the earth to explore the Darklands. Can a small band of refugees grow into champions and push back against Azersi's horde? Or will the Iron Fang invasion give way to an Iron Fang nation? So basically, it's a module. It's a module with a story and everything, and the DM has like a whole guide and everything and tries to push players along the module. Anyway, let's continue. We're in the middle of a war, and we are the main resisting force against an invading army. We just cleared out the last boss in a demon-tainted forest, where the communication with the outside is not possible. Our GM sends a recorded voice message to the Discord, reading off a letter where a general requests a meeting with us. It is made clear that we will not technically receive this letter until we leave the forest and visit a settlement that is not currently controlled or isolated by the invading army. Our plan after clearing the forest dungeon was to teleport to the Dwarven city that we have previously assisted in and do all of our shopping in. We got about 140,000 worth of loot to sell, and the GM the whole time we were planning what to do before leaving the forest is unsubtly dropping hints about the letter, the one we have not received and will not get until we go to a certain place the adventure requires. None of us are buying into this forced railroading and teleport to the Dwarven city to sell our loot and recover for a day before moving on to check on a different town. Forced railroading? Wait, it's a module. It's Adventure Path. The DM is just trying to push you along to the next point of the next story because that's kind of required. I don't know if you ever played a module. Like, if you're playing like a regular campaign where you can do whatever and do everything you want, that's one thing. But if the DM is kind of pushing you along to the next point of the module, the next story beat, it's kind of expected of the DM. It's not railroading that point, is it? It's like if players, for example, they're playing Lost Mines of Phandelver and they need to get to the Mines of Phandelver, and players say, no, we don't want to go to the Mines of Phandelver. We want to go to Sword Coast. I think. I don't know my D&D places, but pretend like it's there, right? And we want to go to Sword Coast to an arena. We want to go to Baldur's Gate and like go drink there. Okay, but like we can't continue the story unless you get there. No, we're not going there. Okay, I guess you go to Baldur's Gate and drink. Story over. I don't know what you want from me. The whole time GM is complaining that it's impossible for us to receive this invitation that moves the story forward while we're in a Dwarven city. Makes sarcastic remarks about whether we are actually heroes because we're not immediately moving on to the rest of the country. Just endless guilt trips, whining that we aren't basically metagaming, and it just aggravates everyone in the party. I mean, yeah, maybe the DM could be pushy about that kind of thing, but it's part of a module. They kind of need you to get to the next point so they can continue the story. It's part of the pre-written thing. Have you never played a module? Or like a Adventure Path? Adventure Paths are basically modules, yeah. They come with the same kind of story beat, and you go from story beat to story beat. They're pre-written adventures. They probably want you to get to the next story beat so they continue the story. We spend literally a single day in game selling loot before moving on to continue single-handedly liberating an entire country. In 4 hours of gaming, we shop for a maximum of 40 minutes and I cleared everything the GM had prepped that day with time left over. Like, just get off our back and learn to adapt the story to what we do if railroading is so important to you, lol. It sounds like, here's the saying, wow, can't believe the DM is making us play a module that has pre-written checkpoints for the story beats. Can't believe the DM is trying to force us to go to a checkpoint that is specifically written to give us more of the story. Wow, DM shouldn't be so selfish and force us into railroads, even though those railroads are literally part of the module and important for you to continue with the damn story. It's not railroading. Like, yeah, if you're annoyed about that sort of thing, you could just ask DM, hey DM, maybe let's relax a little bit, you know, that's fine. It's okay if it takes 40 minutes to shop. We just have a lot of stuff to go through. Maybe we can make shopping a little bit quicker, find a way to expedite a little bit more so you guys aren't spending 40 minutes or something. I don't know. 40 minutes shopping is, I don't know, man, it's a lot. My plays usually take 5 to 10. I don't know. Maybe they're just really quick at making decisions. I'm not fully sure. Either way, it's not railroading if you're following a module. The DM is just doing what the module tells them to do. Maybe they shouldn't be so like agitated about it. Sure, I guess there could be an argument for that, but it's just weird. If you don't want to play a module, don't play a module then. I don't know. Calling module railroading, that's what it is though. It is railroading. What'd you expect? Anyway, silly story for the sake of being silly. Let's get to the next story for today. Letter to B. Now, this letter specifically is like a personal letter to somebody that they're hoping will read on RPG Horror Stories. It's like a direct letter. B, I don't know who B is. Billy. We'll go with Billy. B is Billy. I've had the displeasure to play with you yesterday. What I found out by coincidence through Twitch recommendations is that you record and broadcast all of your games of private rooms of Twitch without anyone's knowledge or consent. Playing with you means you'll be streaming without your knowledge and consent. You denied any wrongdoing when Helen and I confronted you about it. During these broadcasts, you also attempted to dox me by asking for my IRL name, which I refused to give. And I don't even know at that moment that we were being broadcast. When we were in a call alone, you would go on rants about how poor people and women have it coming when they get assaulted. When I opposed that statement, you asked, why am I reacting so strongly? Is it based on personal experience? Literally trauma fishing for your audience on Twitch, which I wasn't aware of at the moment. You denied all those things and said I was playing the victim when you were literally providing proof of these things with a VOD you were generous enough to record of us. Many of us put a lot of ourselves into our characters and our roleplay and assume we're in a private room. If we don't want to worry of every moment like that being broadcast to the world without our knowledge, we may or may not be comfortable with being shown to everyone. Not to mention that, on top of being highly illegal, it is also potentially endangering. You never know if someone you're broadcasting might be in a protection program with you, potentially revealing them to everyone on the globe. I genuinely hope you get what you deserve. You're the biggest scumbag I've met in a while. P.S. You're also a murder hobo who goes off murdering random NPCs out of curiosity to see what would happen, in your own words, and antagonizes by crap talking us and our characters and calling us names during calls, and said I am low IQ and so is my character for needlessly spilling blood instead of trying to de-escalate when I got attacked by enemies in our after session talk. Yikes. That kind of sounds like a leech. If you want to broadcast your games, the least you need to do is, I don't know, tell the people that you want to broadcast the game. Ask, yo, is it cool if I stream our game? No? Okay, I guess I won't stream our game. But no, you decide not to tell anybody that you're going to stream the game and decide to stream it anyway. If you're playing a private game that isn't supposed to be streamed, recorded, or whatever, just people can just relax and not have to be like playing up for the audience or whatever. Obviously, they don't want to be part of your secret cast, especially if you're streaming secretly without telling people that you're streaming. It's absolutely hilarious that your stream got found out about it. And yeah, I'm glad you called B out about it. But you know what? The best thing to do? Go report him to Twitch. Because at this point, I'm not sure if you can really do a DMCA takedown, but definitely you got to mention something about like this was streamed publicly without your knowledge or something. Pretty sure somebody at Twitch can reach out to it or some sort of report can be done. I'm sure somebody at Twitch will look through the reports and try to make some sort of a fair decision, although Twitch can be a little bit unfair with their decisions, a little bit biased, honestly. But this is a very scummy behavior. Don't just randomly stream people playing D&D sessions with everybody just chilling. If it's a non-stream session, then don't stream it. Don't be that jackass that streams everything. If you want to stream it, at least ask ahead of time, hey guys, is it cool if I stream this thing? Cool? Okay, awesome, fantastic. Or create games where people are actually going to be streamed and make sure they know, yes, I will be streaming this. I want to stream this. Is it cool with you? When you're signing up to this session, you will be streamed. If you're cool with it, then that's fine. What a scumbag though. Absolute scumbag. Absolute piece of crap. Anyway, let's get to the next story for today. Player refuses to engage with the setting. This isn't a horror story as much as it is just frustrating. The player in question, John, is the significant other of a friend. Both of them have been playing RPGs for at least 5 years. I recently started running a new game of Blades in the Dark. For those who don't know, it's a steampunk dystopia in which it's dark all the time. Everyone's trapped within the walls of the city. Ghosts and vampires are just a fact of life, and electricity comes from monster blood. The players are a band of scoundrels or criminals. This is the first time I've ever played with John. During the session 0, John said that they wanted to play a human from Earth who had been magically transported into the Blades universe. Everyone else in the group said that wouldn't really make sense. We don't want to deal with the implications of multiverses or dimensional portals or any of that. It's a concept that would work in a silly game of D&D, but not here. John was visibly frustrated with this, but made a new in-universe character. The party decided that they were smugglers of souls, ghosts, and arcane stuff related to death. This has nothing to do with the story, but can I just say how much I hate the word multiverse? I hate it. Everything had to be a multiverse. With D&D, with Marvel, with every entity that ever existed. Before, everything had a multiverse. There was a multiverse for the multiverse to discuss about the multiverse. I know you like multiverse, so put multiverse into your multiverse so you can multiverse about multiverse. I hate the word multiverse. And before that, I hated the word, oh God, what was the word again? Metaverse. That's what it was. I hated when products and companies use the word metaverse. Everything was a metaverse. VR chat was a metaverse. Facebook was a metaverse. Your mom was a metaverse. Everything and everything was a metaverse suddenly. I hate when buzzwords just get adopted and just a new thing that they're using constantly. It's terrible. It's the worst. Not the actual existence of them, it's just the usage of the word, right? When you use when everything is a metaverse, nothing is a metaverse, and it just becomes boring and drab. It's like backrooms used to be cool, but now there's 100,000 backroom games about skibbity toilet trying to chase you through Ohio gang. And I hate what I just said. For the first session, the mission is to steal the body and ghost of a powerful drug lord. As we are starting, John declares, "Why do we need this body? Ghosts don't exist." I gently reminded them that their character wouldn't know that they exist. It's not only common knowledge in the universe, but the crux of the party's entire business. John dug their heels in and kept saying that they haven't seen a ghost, so they wouldn't believe in them. Their boyfriend pushed back and it became a slightly uncomfortable heated discussion, until John relented that their character does believe. In Blades in the Dark, every character has a vice, which helps them recover during downtime. John decided they were a pyromaniac. Honestly, I thought this was an awesome choice. I never had a player choose the vice or personality. However, in John's mind, this was related to, I want to burn everything down all the time. The other players started to get frustrated because every mission John would just throw a Molotov cocktail after they were done, or solve mundane problems with fire, even during clandestine operations. This aspect was pretty funny. On its own, it would be fun to GM for, only bring it up because how it compounds with the other problems. If you play a game where you're supposed to believe in ghosts and vampires and ghosts are a regular occurrence, not believing in ghosts kinda sounds a little bit weird. It's like suddenly me as a tiefling were like, gods don't exist. The gods never exist in the first place. Magic doesn't exist. What are you talking about? Warlock patrons? Gobbledygook. It's all fake anyway. I don't believe in making pacts with demons or any other entities, said the warlock. Then comes the problem with electricity. As I mentioned above, in this universe, electroplasm is derived from the blood of leviathans. It's analogous for how whale oil was widely used in our world. At first, John's character didn't believe leviathan existed. After dealing with that, John refused to use electricity because it derived from the harming animals, which is morally incorrect. Okay, fine, bit weird given the setting, but I don't mind confronting systemic injustices. However, John also considered everyone who used it to be evil, which is a problem because literally everyone had access to it. Like they would enter the house of a friend of theirs who had an electric lamp. John would immediately start antagonizing them, dismissing their aid, and acting as if they were going to betray the party. Obviously, this meant John wanted to burn down every building that were ever entered with a moral justification now. Hi, I'm wondering if you got your photos printed? Oh, a lamp. How dare you? Molotov, burn it down. How dare you use electricity? I can't imagine how John feels about every single street lamp in the world. It must be Satan to him. Must be blasphemy. For real, it's a little bit silly. Like, if this is a part of the world, it's like an old man screaming at clouds, because clouds exist above the sky. You gotta be so angry and scream at them. Oh, your house is on the clouds? Firebomb. Oh, you love the rain? Rain comes from clouds. Clouds unreal. Firebomb. It sounds like an annoying character for the sake of being annoying. Is it really because he couldn't play like a real life Earth human playing in this world? Is that why he is being so spiteful? Gotta be something else about it. Maybe he's just so bored. At every turn, John was trying to turn the character into someone who was confused by the basics of setting. trying very hard to force their Earth human magically transported here into their character, but only ever to be antagonistic to player characters and NPCs, to the point of almost starting a PvP fight because another party member used an electroplasm powered device during a heist. Why would someone do this? Didn't even seem fun for John. Certainly wasn't fun for anyone else. I betcha John really disliked the fact that you didn't let him to play as a real Earth-like human in this universe and decided, you know what, they didn't let me have my fun. I'm gonna ruin everyone else's fun and be a whamby-pamby little baby man. I'ma be a whamby baby man, and I wanna ruin everyone's fun because Harry gets to have fun, but I can't, even though it doesn't make sense for me to have my character this way, but I don't care. I wanna be a little piss baby about it. I'ma be a piss baby and piss around. That's probably what John sounds like. I don't know, man. I'm imagining John being a big man baby. And if you're wondering why I'm really good at acting like a man-child, is because I have a sibling who is a man-child, so I know exactly how they act. There's one session before which John and boyfriend had an argument about this exact thing. Rather than dealing with it like adults, they played the whole session visibly angry and refused to talk to each other, all while insisting we shouldn't stop playing, and that they're fine. That's a whole nother horror story. I really hope at some point you had a talk with John or the significant other, maybe ask him like, hey, maybe we should just change games or something needs to change. Or maybe ask like why John was doing this thing. I really hope you actually had a talk with John. Maybe there'll be an edit, an update to the story, who knows. Find it for yourself and see if there's an edit. But otherwise, if we don't have an edit, maybe you can let me know. Why do you think John did all the things that John did? Why was he so antagonistic? Let me know in the comment section below. I want to see what y'all think. Genuinely, I want to know. When other content creators say that, you know, they're probably be like, hey, please just add to the algorithm. I mean, yeah, if you want to add to the algorithm, sure, feel free to comment in the comments below, but I genuinely want to know your thoughts. I want to read the comments. I want to interact again. I want to see what y'all say. It's important for me. And with that, that's going to be all our stories for today. I want to thank you very much for watching, and thanks so much for being here. If you like what I do, consider subscribing to the channel and leaving a like. Also, if the RPG Horror Stories ever goes down, or if you want to submit your own personalized horror story, email is down in the description below. I'll see you again in more Tales Tomorrow. Bye-bye.